On a perfect morning in May, I drove out to rural Greene County, Indiana, along the Indiana Railroad's Indianapolis subdivision in hopes of chasing train HWBOT into Bloomington. I was at the famous Richland Creek Viaduct, also known as Tulip Trestle. I would end up chasing the train not only to Bloomington, but also up towards Ellettsville, as the train would have an extra task to do this morning. Train HWBOT is of Jasonville to Bloomington local that serves Berry Global on the west side of Bloomington. Departing Hiawatha Yard in Jasonville on Friday mornings, it is the only local train to venture north of Bloomfield on the Indianapolis sub. The train usually consists of a single GP38 or SD40, 3 or 4 covered hoppers, and a caboose used as a shoving platform. But as you will see, there were 2 extra cars on it this morning. Yellow INRD ballast hoppers meant that I would get to see the train running on tracks that rarely see daylight movement. The tracks in question are part of the former Chicago, Indianapolis, and Louisville main line, otherwise known as the Monon, between Chicago and Louisville. While the northern half of this line is still intact as CSX's Monon subdivision, the southern half is nearly entirely abandoned. Only this 3.5-mile segment in Bloomington and a small portion in New Albany, Indiana, are the only active remains of the Monon in southern Indiana. Racing ahead of the train and actually beating it by several minutes, which surprised me, I set up the camera on Adams Street near Bloomington's west side. This was on the aforementioned Monon trackage, officially known to the railroad as the Bloomington Industrial Track. About a mile west of here, a track splits off the Monon and heads toward the former GE Appliances plant and Berry Global. This is as far as HWBOT normally goes on the Monon, but today they would also run the rest of the way up the line to Rogers Group Bloomington Quarry.
Very way. It's clear at the moment anyway. About two-way. Looks like traffic starting to drop here on the right side. Yeah, we're about one way.
Good morning.
Clear on the crossing here. It's about 600.
Down the line, the crew would first switch out the usual customer before taking the ballast hoppers to the point. Near Berry Global, I caught up with the train doing their switching moves next to another business's parking lot, which I've obtained permission to go. Headquartered in Evansville, Indiana. The Indiana Railroad dropped cover hoppers loaded with plastic pellets at two of Berry's plants in Bloomington and Oakland. With the closure of the GE Appliances plant in Bloomington, Berry is the only remaining customer in town besides Rogers Group. The GE Appliances plant had been a major player in Bloomington's outlet. INRD had daily trains serving the plant and often had a locomotive parked there for switching. While the tracks here are still mostly intact, seen in the foreground, the likelihood of rail service ever returning is slim. was a former L&N transfer caboose built in 1981 that INRD obtained in 2007 for use as a remote control caboose. Remote control equipment was mounted in the caboose along with a horn and a headlight, so the locomotive powering the train could be controlled from it. However, now it is used solely as a shoving platform, primarily on this train.
And 76, I'm on the cross. It's going to be detected. I'll take
the car strap system is equipped with end-of-car cushion units, meaning the couplers have a ridiculous amount of slack.
I'll take 4 of them. Let's go about 3.
SD40-2 was built in 1980 for the Burlington Northern as number 8175. It was renumbered as BNSF 8175 with the Santa Fe BNSF, and was then sold to Helm Leasing under the same number. INRD purchased it along with 5 other SD40-2s in 2001, renumbering it to 43 and later to 4003. Now at over 50 years old, it continues to faithfully serve. They will then sandwich 4003 between the outbound hoppers and ballast hoppers and shove the consist about a half mile east back towards the Monon.
I'll take about 8 or so, I'll stop you. Take about 4 of them on 3. Go 2 up. Get 1. Go ahead. I'll take a half car. Better. And more feet. 5. And that will do. And I'm in the clear, you can stretch it.
lift the covered hoppers in the caboose on the Monon behind Coles, and then shoved the 2 ballast hoppers down the rest of the Monon. I caught up with the train at Loesch Rd. Just past this crossing, the tracks split away from the Monon right away and take a new route into the quarry.
Up on this one here, you may blow your horn too.
Next stop is at Hartstraight Rd. The crossing here is at the edge of the quarry's property and is equipped with old safe-tram cantilevers, which aren't very common on the railroad. Rogers Group Bloomington Quarry is a supplier of crushed limestone and other aggregates to construction companies all over the area. INRD loads crushed limestone here to be used as scrubber stone for nuclear energy's Euro plant. With declining coal, the power plant is spent with the tools in 2023, and the rock trains will also stop running then. However, INRD also receives ballast from the quarry, meaning there will still be some use left for this line after Monon shuts down. After dropping off the cars, the crew takes 4003 back to the rest of their train to shove out onto the main line and head back to Jasonville. Adams Street, I watched the train shove back out to the main line, which if you look closely you could see crossing over Adams Street on a short overpass. I decided I should end the chase when I started up to the trestle. With the sun on the south side, it would take me longer to set up, so I decided not to catch the train at an intermediate crossing between Bloomington and the trestle. In hindsight, I probably had time to see the train leaving town crossing Curry Pike on the main line, which would have given me a rare opportunity to see the same train at all 3 Curry Pike crossings.
South on the left side. We're one away, trying to call.
After a longer than anticipated wait at the trestle, I finally heard them approaching the bridge. Tulip is easily the most famous point on the Indiana Railroad. At over 2,700 feet in length and 157 feet in the air, it was the largest of its kind when completed in 1906, and even double-stack intermodal trains still look tiny when crossing it. I hope you've enjoyed this video of a day in the life on the Indiana Railroad. There will be an episode 5, but it'll be a little different, so stay tuned. If you didn't like the narration, I've included a non-narrated version in the description. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.